Hi, my name is John Maxwell, and these are questions that people often ask me about the 5 levels of leadership. One question is, why did you write the 5 levels? Well, I wrote it because people think that leadership is a noun instead of a verb. In other words, they think leadership is a position you have instead of a life that you live. The 5 levels really helps us understand that leadership is always moving. It's serving, it's giving, it's action-oriented. And I wrote the 5 levels so people would begin to understand that just because they have a leadership position doesn't mean that they're a leader. They have to be moving, they have to be moving up the ladder, they have to have action in order to lead other people effectively. Another question I'm asked about the 5 levels of leadership all the time is, who is the 5 levels of leadership for? Well, it's for anybody that wants to influence anybody. I've often said that leadership is influence, and basically, if you influence anyone, you want to learn how to influence them better, in a greater way. If you're a parent, you want to be able to influence your children better. If you're on a community relations board, you want to be able to influence the people you're on the board with. And so the 5 levels is really to teach you and me how that we can increase our influence and thereby increase our leadership, giftedness, and ability with people. Another question I'm asked is, can someone be on different levels with different people? And if they can, how and why? Well, yes, we're all on different levels with different people. The 5 levels of leadership is very insightful because it helps us understand that not everybody that is under our leadership sees us and responds to us the same way. For example, somebody that's new in the organization or the department, they're on level 1 with you. They don't have relationships with you. They don't have any success stories yet. They're going to see you and me entirely different as their leader than somebody that's been with us maybe for a couple of years, and they're on level 3, a production level. They've been able to do things with us that has brought success. So the 5 levels is very insightful in helping us understand that different people are on different levels, and it helps us to know what level we're on with them so that we'll know how to lead them correctly. You see, managers, they lead everybody the same, but leaders lead everybody differently. But you and I can't lead them differently if we don't know where we are with them and how to connect with them. Another question asked often is this: can you give me an example of a level 5 leader? What made him or her a level 5 person? Well, there are examples, obviously, in the world of government. I would say somebody like Nelson Mandela, who has the respect, I think, of most people because of his largeness in leadership, his ability to forgive, his ability to turn the other cheek, his ability to see the big picture when he came into leadership in South Africa. In the religious world, probably a Billy Graham. Perhaps in the corporate world, a Jack Welch. Perhaps in the world of really touching lives in the religious world, a Mother Teresa. These are people that over the years have done it so well with so many in such a wonderful way that they have become bigger in life, and they have gone up to level number 5. Another question asked me about the 5 levels of leadership is, why did I wait so long to write the book? Most books that I write, after I get the idea, I just give it some time, do a little research on it. Within 3 to 5 years, I start writing. For over 30 years ago, I started lecturing on the 5 levels of leadership, never really intending it to be a book, just trying to help people understand how leadership works and operates in their personal life or in their corporate life. But over the 30 years that I've been teaching this, I've seen that it really makes a difference, that organizations and companies like Microsoft and Delta and Lilly and West Point, these people have continually asked me to come back and teach the 5 levels again so that they can really help their people learn how to lead better. And over this time period, I've realized that the 5 levels is truly a life-changing teaching on leadership. And finally, I said, I need to write a book on it. I need to put it in print so more people can understand the 5 levels, they can know about it, and they can apply it to their life. It's a different book than I've ever written before. It's mature. It's a book that has been proven to be successful. And I think when the reader picks it up and begins to go through it, they're going to begin to see the depth and begin to feel that. And I think they'll be able to apply the leadership principles very quickly to their life. Another book that I'm asked all the time about the 5 levels is, have you seen the 5 levels work in big corporations? Sure have. In fact, it's the favorite lecture of big corporations. In fact, I was recently with Delta, Ed Bastian, the president of Delta, says that the 5 levels is one of the reasons why they were able to turn their company around. I've heard that happen often. The Lilly company, they've used the 5 levels for training in their organization as far as their managers and leaders for many years, and I found that to bring great success. I've discovered that the 5 levels of leadership works in the big corporate setting, but it also works just, around the desk with a half a dozen people in a very small business. It works because the principles apply to you and me no matter where we are in our leadership journey. The last question I'm asked sometimes on the 5 levels of leadership is what makes the 5 levels different from all of the other leadership books. I think the greatest difference is that it's a mature book. I've taught it for so many years that when I wrote it, it had a maturity level that I think many leadership books have not had in their life. I would also say, secondly, I think that the 5 levels of leadership defines leadership and helps a person understand how to grow in their leadership more than any other book that I've ever taught before.